Time for the grand final. Time for the rematch. Korea against China. This series is going to decide which team goes to the Nations Cup. Well, there's a little bit to talk about. Obviously, this is a rematch. Korea came through the losers bracket after initially losing to China in the winner bracket final. There is also a bit to explain about the format that they used for the Asian qualifier here, and we're gonna get to all of it in just a moment. But first, let's introduce our players for game number 1 here on Towers of Doom. We have on the left Hyde on Brightwing. We got Crow on Anubarak, Lockdown on Genji, Kirisaku on Dehaka, and Reset is playing Vala again. Over on the right side of the map, it is our Blaze player for China, which I'm still not going to try to pronounce. Railgun playing Rega, Samira on Hogga, Macchiato on Sylvanas, and Delusional is playing Johanna. Arrow build this time for Reset, doesn't rely on his auto attacks like he did on the first map in the winner bracket final against the Chinese team. Now, you can already see, yes, we are on map number 1, but there is a lead in the series for China. And the reason is fairly simple. The format that they used meant that in the grand final, they used a best of 5 with a 1-game advantage for the winner of the winner bracket. So this is why China currently has a lead, even though we are in game number 1. And it is still a best of 5 series, so keep that in mind. Kill against Genji, and it seems like Dehaka is also going to get the... Oh no, he's actually going to get saved. Nice, well done. So they're able to save Dehaka. Still a bit of pressure down at the bottom of the map. But yeah, obviously in tournaments that I personally organize, we usually don't have a winner bracket advantage with a 1-game up. Normally what the teams get as a winner bracket advantage is that they are getting the map pick, and they're getting first pick for the first map. And especially when you're playing at an offline event, but also at online tournaments, you have the advantage of not having to go through the extra games in the losers bracket, which is a huge advantage. I mean, you will oftentimes hear people that are saying, oh my god, they played so many games in a row, they're so tired, like, why can you do this? Like, well, that's the advantage that you get when you go straight through the winner bracket. But the Korean and for the Asia qualifier, the organizers, they had a little bit of leeway here, and they decided to go with the best of 5 and the winner bracket advantage of a 1-up. 3 kills that we just saw here, and that is a very nice start for Korea, and it's also one of the first times that the Korean team has taken the early game. Obviously, this is a regame, a rematch of the winner bracket final, and back there, China was the one dominant in the early stages over and over again. So it's actually pretty cool to see that now Korea is bringing it back, and just as I say, the caster curse hits, and it hits hard, because they're starting to lose a lot here. Yes, that is Vala gone, and Anubarak is dead as well. Genji at least made it out, so Lockdown is doing what he can to mitigate the damage. At least he got a kill against Sylvanas, but China is not taking this one lying down. They are coming in, they're taking kill after kill, they're trying to claw their way back very quickly. Talking about claws, we have Dragon Claw as a level 4 talent, and the repeating arrow now for our girl as Vala is trying to get her damage through. But we had a pretty intense winner bracket final between these two teams, and now obviously there's a lot on the line. Each of these teams want to qualify for the offline event in Berlin. So can they pull it off? Who has the chance to take this one? Everybody is throwing everything that they have at this series, and so they should. And the winner bracket final was already pretty insane. So if Korea can stop throwing in games that they more or less already won, then they have a chance to take this series. But they have that downside of having to win this extra map, and that might be a little bit dicey. Okay, so with that, we have the third altar being fought over. Both of the teams, of course, attempting to make their play here to take the initial lead in this one. And Korea is a little bit ahead in kills, but in experience, the teams are nearly identical, which means that level 7 talents shouldn't really give an advantage to one team or another. So now initial windows that could be exploited, but with all the poke that we're seeing from Korea, they're starting to get a little bit ahead on this one. Poking the opponent slowly down, trying to trap Blaze in this case now too. So if they can keep them at low HP, and look at these body blocks, damn son, that's a Warcraft 3 body block if I've ever seen one. Holy hell, love it, absolutely love it. Now the attack is coming into Reset! Oh my god, and yep, he's in trouble, but what a fight! They're throwing everything at this. Jojo is dead. No counter kills yet. Korea with big plays, big damage, and a big victory on this one. I like it. Level 7 talents on both teams. We got the Frost Shot. He has a level 7 talent. This isn't Battlefield of Eternity. Therefore, you don't need Monster Hunter. And they are just trying to get the damage out, trying to get the control out, and doing the best they can with a lead in experience, a lead in points on the core, and taking some of these camps away. Nicely done. But the body block was pretty awesome. It was a good old RTS body block. Yeah, talk about RTS also. Obviously, with more and more info being released about Stormgate, it looks better and better. I'm very, very happy with how the game looks, what they're saying, and the development of the game, and particularly with how well Frost Giant is incorporating people from the community, and especially the esports community, in everything that they do. I've been personally part of 2 of their summits already, and I really, really like the way that they're approaching this and how well we are integrated in everything that they're doing. So big shout out to them, and I have high, high hopes for Stormgate, and will definitely also do a lot with that game. There's already a second YouTube channel that I created. There's no content on it just yet, but if you guys want to check it out, there's a link in the video description that you can have a look at. And let's just suffice it to say, we got quite some plans for this game. Stormgate's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to another esports RTS. And it's been a long, long time. For everybody that's been following me in the channel, they know, of course, that I started back in, I think, 2000. Yeah, 2000 or 2001 with Warcraft 3 and commentating that. Back then, audio. Video wasn't even available. You had to commentate a radio. And then, of course, the days of StarCraft 2 and now Heroes of the Storm. So it's a little bit of a back to the roots story for me personally. And yeah, esports RTS is going to be amazing. But either way, as we are still looking at this game, of course, we have now level 10 abilities for both teams. And Korea, they have still that slight advantage in XP. They couldn't really capitalize on the earlier heroic ability. But now we have another altar up on the map. And this is where you're really trying to push the envelope a bit. 10 stacks for Vala. And as we're seeing Reset getting more and more stacks as the game continues, he's of course also going to be able to really chunk down single targets in particular whenever he gets those arrows connected. If he goes Acrobat on level 20, that's even more so true, so late game could be a problem for China, always depending on how well Reset is able to contribute in these fights and how many stacks he is going to get. Railgun is already trying to zone this a bit. Each team has 2 of their heroes on the mid and the top lane. Yeah, but Reset gets 1 hit. Is always playing around the cooldown here and doing the best that he can. Oh boy, another stun, another connect, and that is the end of Sylvanas. Good CC chain here with the Rain of Vengeance too. Cocoon was out. That's more stacks for Vala's arrows, and of course more and more damage coming in as they're hoping for the second kill. And Railgun gets wrecked. Rega is murdered. That's 7 kills to 3. Korea with a very, very different performance and look in this first game of the grand final than what we saw in the winner bracket final. China definitely on the back foot now. 15 stacks already for Reset. Another shot fired. Samira at the top is gonna get murdered by Genji. Was able to get his shockwave out, but even that didn't buy him enough time to retreat. So now it's 8 kills to 3 and the Koreans are angry. The Koreans are a little bit mad, aren't they? They're making their moves, they're making their plays, they're trying to establish dominance early on in this one. And with level 13, we're now getting the siphoning arrows. And even more pressure at the top, thanks to the camp that was just now claimed. With the Haka, you also have a global available. This is looking really good for Korea. This is looking really, really good for them. Camps are getting claimed. Vala with 28,000 damage, still trailing behind Hogger a little bit. But overall, doing a great job here. So I like this a lot. What exactly can China do though? The big advantage that they have, I mean, first of all, they have a great front line. Jojo and Blaze has been a very popular composition for a long, long time. Hogger can contribute a ton to it too, so they're going for a triple front line. Whereas Sylvanas is the one that could really change things if they win a team fight. If and when they take a couple of heroes down, they should be able to use her to convert some of these bell towers over. Always assuming that Korea doesn't completely choke them out with the pressure that they're building up here. Reset gets attacked again, and they try and keep him safe. Gets away for just a second. More stacks for Vala. They really want her, and eventually they get the kill. Brightwing just a bit too late. Hyde not able to save her, but still 19 stacks now for Vala. More attacks are coming, and China with the little comeback here. They get a double hit. 2 heroes down. Nicely done. Jojo the one to deliver the final blows. And we're going to take another quick look at this one as China is now able to channel out 2 altars and opens the wall up as well. Hogger was absolutely crucial in that play that we saw there. Did a great job with it. 8 kills to 6, level 14 on both sides. They still haven't channeled it, by the way. They're now making their way over to the 2 altars, and that's going to be 8 shots or 8 points taken off Korea's core, which is going to pretty much equalize the situation here. 28 to 28, 15 to 15 in just a moment. Things are looking definitely up for China. Just a little bit. They're not ahead or anything, but they've been able to claw their way back a bit. Of course, scaling into the late game with Vala and her stacking is going to be very, very nice for them. And there's already 1-2 connects happening. 21 stacks now. Hogger in a very awkward spot here. And with the ult from Genji, he was hoping to get the kill, but he just couldn't. Yeah, but there's another hit. There's another 2. 23 stacks now for Vala. But they lose an Uberak. And Uberak down, and Korea is starting to lose ground again. Is this going to be a rematch of what we saw in the grand final, in the winner bracket final already? That Korea, once they take an advantage, are just starting to fall behind, and that's what's happening. Reign of Vengeance, solid, but now they get murdered again. Oh my god. Is this really happening once more? Korea seems to just be too confident at times, and then they're paying the price for it. Once again, they are going a little bit too deep. Vala in trouble, Brightwing with the help, and then both of them die, which now allows China to grab level 16, steal the camp away, push the bell tower, the bell tower in the middle, and maybe even go for another advantage through just utter domination of that top lane. Genji falls, so China is just picking kills left and right. 10 kills to 8. And it is getting a bit nasty. I feel a bit sorry for Korea on the one hand. On the other hand, it's China with their ability to always take advantage of the small mistakes that puts them into this position where they're now starting to turn the game around again. Reset obviously is trying to just somehow bring this back. His stacking is going to be important. And with the shots now fired, yes, we have Korea drop down to 23 points. And of course, it's going to get worse because Hogger is now going to the top right. He already channeled top left, and that's another 5 shots fired, dropping the core of the blue team down to 18 points. Vala with the seething hatred, really the full focus into this arrow build. Not even going for Manticore against a triple frontline. So Reset, he's doing what he can. He's putting the numbers up. 48,000 top damage in the game. They're trying to retake the bell tower down to the bottom of the map. Another one was claimed. China is just crushing it. They're doing such a great job here currently, getting ahead. 10 kills to 8. It is a late game map. Comeback mechanics are present on Towers of Doom like on no other map. But Korea, they need a bit of a break here. Especially now that they're again put into a corner and they're losing to Genji and Brightwing, just annihilated. Don't stand a chance here. Both of them gone. Dehaka is rushing away. Vala is at the bottom of the map. Top side, they're going to get this bell tower. Vala is at least trying to trade down at the bottom of the map. But yeah, it's just absolutely bonkers. I mean, look at these fights again. They're always ending up in a corner, always getting murdered by the Chinese. Now we have Vala trying to reclaim the bottom. It's a bit of a race for bell towers, honestly. Reset is doing his best. Anubarak is sitting in the middle. They're realizing that they have to somehow bring this one back, but they're now 1.5 levels behind, and a level 20 talent is going to be inevitable eventually for China, which will give them an advantage. They will try and play around that advantage as best they can. And Vala can now also not move out anymore to get more stacks. She can't participate in any brawls. She's been sitting back a lot. Boss is taken, shots are fired, they're down to 14 points, half the points that the Chinese are holding. And finally, Korea is starting to stabilize a bit on the bell towers at least. They've retaken the bot lane. Level 20 is a problem. So right now, Macchiato is getting a free channel. It's a triple altar phase. 2 of them will likely go over to China. And that's another 10 shots fired. 4 points against 28. 3 shots fired by Korea. The blue team is in real trouble and they know it too. They have to stop the pumpkins. This is exactly what Vala is doing right now. And it is trouble brewing for Korea. They looked so good in the early game. They looked great here. They got kills, they got momentum, and then all of a sudden China started to take kills again. Korea making too many mistakes, getting punished for them quickly, losing 1, losing 2 heroes, completely unnecessary, and China built on it. Now at least they're going for equal bell tower control, but it doesn't change the fact that a single altar is going to end the game in favor of China. They would take the 2-0 lead. They had an advantage coming from the winner bracket, and things are continuing exactly that way. So as we speak, 12 kills to 8, down here at the bottom of the map, the attacks continue. The attempt to retake one of the bell towers is happening. Delusional has to be careful here as well. Lockdown. The Haka could come in. Hogger is pogging. Yeah, they want the bell tower and they are nearly getting it thanks to those pumpkins. A little bit more pressure and they can go for gold. The Haka could start to move in from the side. Try for a lick. Try go for a connect. Here, Nubra completes his quest just before the battle. And the isolation misses. Der Haka missing his ult. Bunker is already out. Korea fighting back. Trying to do the best they can here to somehow bring this game back. But so far it hasn't happened yet. With a level 20 on both sides, he can still fight this out. Acrobat is ready for Vala, and she's been using it. She's at 30 stacks right now. 31. Gets another one. Gets the kill on Hogger. Nicely done. Reset. Still alive. Good job on Hyde to keeping him in play. And there's another attack. This time directed towards Blaze in an attempt to get her more stacks, more damage, and more kills. But it's Sylvanas that ends up killing 2 on the side of Korea. Genji and Nubarak are dead. So is Brightwing. And this could be the end of the game. It should be the end of the game. It's a 5-man team wipe as China is going for victory in game number 1. Nicely done. Well played. Korea started off strong, but then it turned into another victory for the Chinese team. They take a 2-0 lead over Korea in the grand final of this qualifier. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2! Here we are, Battlefield of Eternity, and yes, I know, it's a little bit confusing. The score is indeed 2-0, but we are in the second game since China got a winner's bracket advantage. And damn, game number 1, what happened there? Korea once again got murdered in the end. They were off to a good start, but then got crushed. Now we're on Infernal Shrines, and we have Korea on the left side in blue once again. With Hyde on Malfurion, we got Crow on Mei. Second time that he now plays the hero. He played her already in the winner bracket final. Lockdown on Falstad, already interesting. Kirizako on Leorix, so they could go for some isolation attempts. With Reset on Tychus, they're rounding out their draft for damage, and of course the Odin transformation. On the other side we got Hanzo, Railgun on Deckard Cain, Macchiato on Tracer, Delusional, playing Muradin this time. And Samira is rocking Sonya. Korea has to step it up. This is a best of 5. Best of 5 with the winner bracket game advantage. Again, a little bit different from what we normally do in our own qualifiers, but the organizers, they had a little bit of leeway there organizing the Asian qualifier for Berlin for the main event. So whichever team takes this series goes to Berlin or qualifies. And for now, we got on level 1 again the heavy pack. Austin's renewal. Also got Tychus with his traditional grenade build. But I'm definitely looking over towards Leo and Falstad. It's actually kind of funny to me that they're already tacting in top lane. Falstad can of course fly down and help out whenever he needs to. But the interesting part is going to be level 10. We're still expecting Mighty Gust here. And with Leo and Falstad, you can technically try and get a couple of isolation plays where you're just moving in with Leo, drop the Entomb, and then you get a Gust out to ensure that the target just gets blown away. Pun intended. Alright, that one was bad. I'm just getting started. But yeah, so we'll see what they can pull off here. I'm definitely very curious. We have, for Korea, a lot of pressure that they have to deal with. They need to win 3 games in a row. 3 games in a row that they have to win if they want to qualify for the grand final in Berlin. At the Experian, once again, there's going to be pictures on the website of the Experian of the main event, also on the Instagram account. If you guys want to have a bit of an idea of the venue and also on how the event shaped up and looks, then you are more than welcome to check out the links in the description and have a quick look there. Can heavily recommend. So, in the meantime, the birdie gets chased. They're chasing Falstead right now. And off we go. Hanzo gets rooted and killed. Early kill, first blood for Korea. Nice. Well done. Yeah, they couldn't really get a counter or second kill against Tracer, but still. They're off to a decent start for the second map at least, so you gotta give them that. Also, once again, a quick reminder, for everybody that watches this on YouTube, there's links in the description as well if you guys want to check out this month's sponsor. I've already mentioned it, but I'm really a big fan of the products they have. They have all kinds of accessories. They have sunglasses, bracelets, but most importantly watches, and we had quite a few people from the community that got themselves some. I have 2, super happy with it, and we have a really nice discount code, so 15% of a discount if you want to get yourself something or a present for someone else. You should check them out. Really mean it. Have a look at the link in the description. It's a pretty big opportunity to get yourself something for a little bit cheaper if you're looking for anything like it. So yeah, make sure to check them out. The links are in the description. Discount code is there as well. Khaldor 15 is, I believe, what it is. But yeah, they got a lot of awesome stuff, and as I mentioned before, I could honestly buy half their shop. The designs that they have are beautiful. So if you're looking for anything on those ends or for a present, I would recommend that you take advantage of the discount code, since right now we have it until the end of this month of June. And, well, in our fight over here, we got the birdie flying in a little bit late. 29 stacks already for Korea, as they started off strong, but now they're being contested. It could be the end of Muradin on the other hand, and yep, he gets crushed. Nice, good grenade from Tychus. Job well done. Went for the Master Assassin as his level 4 talent, and they're getting the Arcane Punisher. This is already a lot better than the games we've seen between China and Korea on Infernal Shrines in the previous series that these two played. So, yeah, well played. 3 kills to 0 and a level 7 talent that is going to help to maybe even take down the fort. I don't think they can take down the fort. They can take down the wall, they can do a bit more damage there. They have Falstead in the middle, Leo at the top, so the leading experience is definitely going to be there. But yeah. Keep in mind also that in regards to the rules, we are still operating under the same system, so heroes can only be played once within the series. Limits the options a little bit as we're moving from one game to another. And just in case that this wasn't clear, these games are obviously casted from replays. It's all played out on the Korean server or the Asian server. There's no dedicated Chinese server anymore, since that one was shut down, but there's still the Asian server, where those games have been played out to completely different time zones. So this is all casted from replays, hence the lack of drafts. And we only selected a couple of games out of the Asia qualifier. So the winner bracket final, and now the rematch between Korea and China here in the grand final, as the teams are trying to lock this one in. Oh, lockdown over here. Oh, he's getting away. No, he's not. It was so close, but they should at least get the kill on Tracer. Yeah, she is dead. She should die. No way. Get moonfired. Easy kill right there. 10 kills to 2. Sorry, 5 kills to 2, but that results in level 10. Here we are. So that's actually pretty sweet, because now they already run a massive talent advantage over China. They have a rogue ability with an entire level lead. So for the Korean team, this must be a little bit of a relief after they've lost in game number 1 and are now so close to being eliminated in this qualifier. So they are stepping it up a bit, they are getting some momentum, they have now a window that they can use to pressure some of these lanes. The kills, of course, also coming through for them quite nicely. You have the global that you can use, which they already did quite a lot. So playing the macro card here is really good. But with that now, we have also the top destroyed. easy wall. Only the tower is still standing. And we get leap for China. So they're going for the aggressive variation for Sonya. Trying to leap in and get a kill. That's going to threaten particularly Malfurion and Falstad. With the birdie, it's more so a question of whether or not you can A, blindside him, or follow up on another stun or CC. But yeah, definitely quite a bit of potential. For Korea, on the other hand, they should be pretty confident right now. You are heavily ahead in experience, you're looking good so far. They just need to make sure that they're not throwing the game again. Particularly in the winner bracket final, they had a couple of moments that were, yeah, special to say the least. So I hope for their sake that they can stabilize here a little bit and play this bit closer to home, because China is going to look for these opportunities and they're going to push, and they've proven over and over and over again that you can't count them out. When they are behind, they will look for opportunities, and you just give them a chance, they will take you down, they will close that gap and pull ahead. So let's see how they're dealing with it. For now, Falstad still at the bottom of the map, doesn't really have to travel topside just yet. It's always a question of whether or not the red team is even engaging into all of this. Level 13 is of course the big threat for China. But the shrine is now up. Leo is already doing his thing. And here comes the red team. China is moving in. Falstad is looking for level 13 at the bottom of the map. Gets the experience for them. And flies up top as Sonya rotates. And whoo, Tracer! Yeah, that is the end of her. That entomb wasn't even needed. So not really a great start into this objective for the Chinese team. Lacking the level 13 talent. And this should be, I mean, this is going to be another Punisher for Korea. So South Korea at the top with an opportunity to take the fort down, which would be the first fort to get destroyed in this game. Odin gets popped immediately. They are not wasting any time with this one. And yeah, this is going to be an easy fort for them. So very, very nice start. 1.5 level lead by now. Ah, well, not too bad here. Nice lock, and damn son, holy hell, they got that kill. They locked everything in at the same time here, or a nice sequence at least. Incredibly well played, and all of a sudden we're talking not only about one kill, we might talk about 2 or 3. There's the Stormbolt on Mei, they get her, she got Hanzo'd. The fort is still going to fall, or at least very likely it will get destroyed, but that was pretty impressive. Well done by China. They got a few kills out of it, but they lost not only the fort at the top, but also the fort at the bottom of the map. Because, well, we had all of a sudden Falstad going ham on this one. Has to be a little bit careful with these Stormbolts and everything. Lockdown, can he fly? He gusts, and he gets away thanks to Malfurion. But pretty crazy game. It's a little bit weird, honestly, because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, who actually got the better trade out of this one? Because, yes, the kills were really nice for the Chinese team, and that closed the gap a bit. But at the same time, 2 forts were destroyed, so that was pretty good for Korea. They sacrificed a few of their heroes, but they get 2 structures. That is damn good. That's really good. And here we get Murden actually healed and saved by Deckard Cain and his avatar. The leap and the kill. And bam! That's a dead Tychus. He's apparently getting used to that slowly. Aurelio's the first one to drop up at the top, and Lockdown is flying out of harm's way once again. A nice snowball over here, getting rid of 2 of them. Hanzo. Yeah, they're still trying to see if they can maybe follow up with an additional kill, but so far it's not happening. The gap in experience has been closed though. It's 15 to 15 in just a moment. It's a half level lead. It's a half level lead, so it's not quite closed. But given that they were 1.5 levels ahead, the Koreans have definitely lost some of that momentum that they were hoping to build up earlier. Either way, structurally, Korea is massively ahead. Massively. And now the camp is still being fought over, so they're starting to threaten Trace a little bit further. They're zoning everybody away from the Khaldor camp, and they are going to grab this one. So this one is easily locked in. We have level 16 kicking in. And good for them. And of course, that also means that right now there's the big opportunity to use that talent advantage while they have it. The problem is there's not really anything up that they could use it for. They can't invade an opponent's camp since nothing's up. There's no objective up either. You could push the lane a little bit, but the gap is so small and will soon be bridged that there's not really a whole lot that Korea can do here. It's only their own camp that is up at the top left, and thanks to the position, they will get that one either way. Now with level 16, we get the Dwarf launch. This time, by the way, for Muradin, exactly the build that you would expect it. You might remember that in the winner bracket final, I was talking a bit about how strange it was to see the weird combo on Muradin between the level 4 and the level 13 talent, and I think he might have misclicked there. This time we have the Bronze Beard Rage after the Reverberation, as you would expect. Sonya with a big leap again! And another quick hit and kill as they are trying to dive in for Tracer, which didn't really work out, but maybe Muradin has made a bit of a mistake. He waits for his cooldown and gets it just in time. Oh my god. Not even close. Yeah, Deckard Cain was the first one to fall there, and then that leap came through. It is a battle that we have on our hands now, but of course, thanks to the kills and Leo coming back a bit quicker than the old man, it is now an advantage on the shrine for Korea that they intend to use to grab themselves another Punisher. Sonya gets drained a little bit, not all too much, but they are taking a significant lead on shrine minions. 15-2 already there, and it does not seem like China is even gonna try and YOLO into this one. Can't really do a whole lot with it anyways. So, good news for Korea. They might be able to do a bit of damage down at the bottom of the map now to the keep. At least the wall is gonna fall. Always assuming that they're not gonna get flanked and crushed here. What a hit! That was sexy. That was sexy. The confidence of Hanzo for that arrow and then the perfect follow-up on it. They nearly didn't get the kill, but then it was enough, and now that push at the bottom of the map is of course a lot easier to defend. Check this one out again. God, that was good. Falset is in, and he's like, I got this, and all of a sudden, bam! Straight to the face. Sonya with a follow-up. They come in, and they take Falstat down. That was pretty cool. Now, still in the middle, they're going for the fort. Down at the bottom of the map is, of course, the Punisher that is now pushing alone. And yes, the keep is taking damage. Can't really do a lot here, but they can still do some. Now, up at the top, they have to also deal with the camp that was taken. So yeah, there we go. Already making their moves, taking this one out. Still a bit of a play done in the middle of the map. Deckard Cain with the ult, immediately getting countered. He finds himself completely on the wrong side of that engage. Has to waddle his way out. Sonya at the bottom of the map is dealing with the Punisher, who has now dropped the keep down to 50%. And yeah, they're still hoping to get something in the middle. Falsa was even thinking about moving in with another gust. Didn't fully commit to that though. And the attack is still in. So right now, it is a leading experience by roughly half a level. Camps up that can be claimed. Much closer game than I initially anticipated though, considering how well Korea did in the early game. We have now 35,000 damage for Tychus, 48,000 damage for Hanzo. And Leo is still moving between top and mid lane mostly in an attempt to get the experience for them. Top lane doesn't have to push out too much. I mean, again, Sonya is the one that is now under pressure and has to go top side and deal with it, which opens up a chance in the middle to get some damage in on the fort once again. So they're really trying to use the macro as best as they can. Leo is pushing a lane out. You have Falsa doing the same thing. Falsa has been very, very active and is nearly matching Leoric in siege damage now. So they're doing a great job on this. Half a level until we have them on 20. And, well, with that, we have still pressure applied to the middle of the map. So they're still trying to take this one down. But Muradin is zoning as best as he can. We'll have to jump out eventually, but there's level 20, and that's a half level lead. That should at least give them the fort. I mean, at this point, if you have Storm Talents and you can threaten... Ooh! Epic Mount, alright. Playing the macro card a little bit more even. Or the attempted fly behind the opponent's team for a gust. They are playing this incredibly safe. China is not risking anything here, as you can see. With Epic Mount and also Entomb upgraded, they just let this one fall. This is honestly a decision that I really like, and it is a decision that I would have loved from the Korean team in the previous series, the winner bracket final, but they never really did that. Whenever they were behind at level 20, they were still trying to poke around, stayed with one or two of their heroes at the fort or whatever structure they wanted to defend, and they always got punished for it. Every single time. So I really like that China looks at this and says, okay, why risk it? It's a fort. Let's just not defend it, let them take it. It's nearly gone anyways. We just let it go, play it safe, guarantees us a level 20, and then we can take it from there. Is that going to be successful for them? Who knows? Maybe they turn it around, maybe they don't. But at least they give themselves that opportunity. Bullseye is in for China. Hanzo just locked it in. And now it's another objective that spawns 14 seconds, and we're going to see another battle for the Punisher. And who takes it this time? Is it going to be the Chinese that can finally put a dent into the objective, or is Korea just going to take another one? Alright. That was... honestly, that was bad. Why not lead with the Entomb? In that situation, there was no reason to go for Drain first and then Entomb. If you really want to trap Muradin and avoid him from getting away, you need to go and immediately silence him. So that's a cooldown that was just wasted. It's a short one. It will be back during this fight at some point, I would at least assume. But they could have gotten a bit more out of that situation for the exact same result. I don't know if they could have killed Muradin, but they could have definitely damaged him a lot more. Sonya has been sniffed out. They know where she is. She was hiding initially there. But by now, they know exactly where she positioned herself and have full vision on her. Falstad still flying around. Keep in mind, he has Epic Mount, so he can technically always try and move away a little bit. And again, Korea dominating the objective. Especially with Odin and the big red button, absolutely no problem. The birdie already pushing out the mid lane. The goal obviously is that keep. You want that keep right now. We're 18 minutes in, and you don't want to go for another 30-minute game here. So you need to try and take that wall down, push your way over towards the keep, and just take that down as quickly as you can. This is also a frozen Punisher. This is definitely going to help their cause. Odin is not available anymore though, and damn, that Punisher gets murdered very quickly, and they take a long time to break through that gate and wall. So might still be able to take down the keep. Yeah, there's the Entomb. Now we're talking. Big leap. Good arrow from Hanzo, but Muradin still falls. Everything they do here, it's not enough to save the dwarf. Budget Gimli is officially dead, and they take the keep as well. This is an opportunity. Yes, they go for Hanzo. Falstad with a big fly, and he is gone. That was sweet. That was really sweet. Good moves from Lockdown that allows them to go for the core now. They're chasing them heavily, and Korea is putting a point onto the board, aren't they? Nicely done. Infernal Shrines, they take the victory. They are not being eliminated here just yet. China loses game number 2. Unless they pull off some kind of miracle here, but with Odin now being utilized as well, that is highly unlikely. The core is down to 41%, 35, another big Entomb. Down goes Tracer. They move in for Sonya and they take her apart as well. Railgun, the only survivor, doesn't survive for long. It's a 5-man team wipe as Korea takes the map, gets the point, and we are headed for game number 3. Game number 3. The score is 2-1. China has taken the lead. Thanks, of course, also to their winners bracket advantage. They were 1 game up, or 1-0 up, 1 point up as we entered the grand final. Korea, they have to win 2 in a row if they want to have a chance. Over on the left side, we have here on Garden of Terror Hyde with Karazim, Lockdown on Liming, Kirizako on Imperius. We got Crow on Garrosh and Reset on Greymane. Always terrifying when Reset gets his Greymane. Some of my fondest memories from HTC involve him on that hero. Now on the right side, it is China with Maiev getting played together with Illidan. Illidan played by Samira here. So this is once again Illidan for China on Garden of Terror. Delusional on ETC, Macchiato on Jaina, and Railgun is playing Whitemane. Illidan had a massive, massive impact the last time that he was played by the Chinese. We currently have Block Party, we get the Unending Hatred again. And as I explained the last time that we saw Illidan, you really want to stack stuns against him. It's not so much about blinds. Blinds obviously can be quite nice if you apply them to him. But one of the big mistakes that a lot of the Plastic League players make is that they think they have to stack blinds in the draft against Illidan and focus on that way too hard, overcommit, and then they get punished. You all of a sudden see lilies popping up and all kinds of weird heroes, and then it's just an utter disaster. So instead, stacking stuns is helping you a lot more, and they're of course also very useful against everybody else on the opponent's team. And also, it is in and of itself a bit of a mystery. I mean, how the fuck do blinds work against a blind guy? He's literally blind! He has a blindfold. He can't see shit. What do you want to blind? He doesn't care. So yeah, Blizzard should have thought that one through, huh? Yeah. Either way, as usually they didn't. But I talked about stuns, and there are plenty of stuns this time on the side of Korea. So, first of all, we have Imperius, already great. You have some CC that you can use, and then you have Garrosh, who can also go for his taunt on level 10. A few more stuns available that you can execute just to make sure that Illidan is not just rampaging through your backline. So something to keep in mind. Get a bit of a mage battle as well. Macchiato is going up against Lockdown. And yeah, Illidan very likely again with a hunt. We'll see how it plays out. Could of course also decide that he doesn't really want to do that and instead move in with Metamorphosis, but the last time they played on Garden of Terror with ETC and with Illidan, the whole idea was to play with Hunt as a pseudo-global and ETC with Stage Dive, and they could very well go in into a similar strategy here. Of course, you can only play a hero once within a series, so now that we're on the third map of this grand final, that limits the hero pool already a little bit. Dehaka, for example, has been played, Falstad is out, you don't have a lot of natural globals in the pool any longer, which means that Illidan and ETC can be really nice if you are trying to also apply some macro pressure, or you just attempt to split your opponent thin on several lanes and then exploit that. And with Maiev at the top, you already see an entire wall taken down, Illidan rotating over, and, well, Imperius won't be able to do a whole lot if the two of them commit. But with the fort there, of course, they gotta still be careful. Now Illidan is stacking. He is going to get stronger and stronger as the game continues, particularly since he really, really likes when the forts are gone, when there are big distances to cover. It's also one of the reasons why Illidan with the chase potential that he can give can be really nice if you're defending, and then you can chase the opponent down as they retreat and take one hero down after another. 3 minutes in, we haven't seen a kill yet, but plenty of structures have been destroyed as both of the teams are trying to be aggressive around this and make some moves. Greymane talking about making moves, already darting in to deal with those siege giants at the top. Another big thing to talk about on this map in particular, if you're playing on Garden of Terror, you want to have a hero that can take all those mercenary camps in a reasonable time frame. Greymane definitely fits that bill. Another hero that is fantastic on this account is of course Hogger, who is regularly banned on this map or taken first when available, simply because he is so good at all of that and can take them all solo very, very quickly. Jaina with lots of burst damage, so she's going to try not only to provide CC but also burst them down where she can. We have Illidan right now with 13 stacks to his level 1. Can stack that endlessly, but the quest reward ticks in at 20. With Echo Paddle as a level 7 talent for ETC, it's gonna be Stage Dive. I mean, this is the talent to go for if you're trying to have a bit more wave clear and you're trying to use macro more so than anything else. With 1 C to the name already, Korea has taken the lead on the objective, and it seems like they're going to try and get the second one too. What Maiev is trying to do is simply to delay them, but now she gets a bit caught. Nice slide though, and Illidan is immediately on the hunt, starting to do some damage, and Jaina's following up on it too with a couple of slows, and that's going to be the end of Garrosh. Yeah, just like that. Garrosh down, gone, has been claimed, and they are maybe not even stopping there. because there's another slide from ETC, and Lockdown gets locked down. Li Ming is dead, ETC gets killed, but hey, hella worth it. Nice moves by the Chinese team here. And I like the way that they are also playing it out with ETC. ETC is always a bit of a mixed bag. If you have a great ETC player, then he can just do so much in a series. And again, if your ETC player is not 100% on point, then he just gets farmed like crazy. So that's always the downside. But if you have a decent ETC player, it's going to be a lot of fun just watching him, his slides, and how he can dominate the opponent's team and really frustrate them 6 days to Sunday. Another interrupt over here. And then talking about ETC, Delusion is already getting himself into position. Illidan at the top, had to top the fountain. Yeah, level 10 is very close now. The position of this seed is just really good for China. It's much easier for them to access it, it's much easier for them to fall back to the fountain. They of course hope to grab it and not give Korea an opportunity to apply heavy pressure. Camp's taken as well, so that's great. Now you have Siege Giants who will also move on to lane. Hunt is in, Stage Dive is in. They already got all the talents that they needed for this. And there's no surprise on level 10. Yeah, nice flip. There's the Hunt. And can they get the kill? Shield is out. ETC says hello too. 7-sided strike has already been used, and Illidan is a little bit far out here. But so is Imperius, and he's the one that gets hit and targeted. 3 kills to 1. Garrosh, still thinking to interrupt. My boy, you might have gone a bit too deep here. He's still fine. They're going for Illidan. And Samira moves out. But yep, the seed has been taken. So 3 kills to 1. China a little bit ahead. Illidan doing absolute work, nearly completing his quest too. And ETC, of course, as you could already tell, not only providing space for the team, but really putting the work in. I mean, he went for position, he saved so many heroes there. Stage dive into the back line worked extremely well for them too. Can always play around the 7-sided strike a little bit when that happens, but he's been playing it very well. And Illidan, of course, up at the top is now not only going to get his 20 stacks to complete his baseline, or sorry, not the baseline, but the quest reward. He is going to stack it even further with these minion kills as the game continues. So the single target damage and the structural damage that he is going to put out will increase. But he is an agent of chaos. That man is just crushing things. He's a little bit outmatched still when he goes 1 versus 2, so you gotta be careful with that. But the pseudo globe with the Hunt will allow him to rotate down quickly to the bottom of the map if they deem it necessary. Hyde gets caught but is able to get out. So yeah, good for him. And once again, down here, Li Ming is still dealing with this up at the top. Illidan is now in the middle, could rotate down if she needs to. 18 stacks also for Jaina, so she's nearly done with her level 1 quest. Still working on the ice block, on the baseline of course. But yeah, level 13 talents in just a bit, and everybody is just like trying to get a good position for the next seed here. Played around the garden terrors a little bit, look to see if you can get a kill. 13,000 damage for Jaina. Illidan, he doesn't really excel with damage numbers, but it is that single target damage that is really important. Jaina gets out, 7-sided strike, not as much value as they would love to have. Maiev gets cornered and killed. Sorry, not Maiev cornered and killed. She kills Imperius, and now Garrosh has fallen victim to Jaina's frostbolts and spells. That's 2 down on the side of Korea, and they should start to be a bit worried. If they lose this one, then China qualifies for Berlin. 15,000 damage for Greymane now. 18,000 for Jaina. They're getting the 2nd seed, and China is looking strong. 5 kills to 1. 1 level ahead. They're still trying to interrupt. The disc is missing. So Lockdown played well around that. But the seed is still or is it? Damn! They interrupted. Whoa! Illidan could come in here. Illidan has the Hunt. I can't believe that they delayed long enough to make that work. That's actually pretty impressive. I would have not bet a single cent on them. And they just took it. Holy hell, Korea! Respect. I did not think that would happen. Despite the earlier level 13 talent, despite being down, they made that work somehow. Now, on the other hand, it seems like Lockdown is paying the price for it. He gets chased and killed. Jaina has a quest completed. Garrosh is dead too. Holy shit, this escalated quickly. What the hell? That's 3 heroes killed within a moment. Damn. Yeah, that... What? They let the seed go, and then all of a sudden it was just kills. They went with the disc then for Karazim and dropped him too. Karazim eliminated, and that allowed them to go straight up for the bottom fort, which they now also destroyed. So there's another seed up on the map. This time, of course, the red team has to fight for it, unless they're totally fine going up against Garden Terrors, which I assume they're not. So with half a level to level 16 and them stealing the opponent's camps away, they are likely going to try and get that seed. But there's a bit of a fight going on here. Oh my god. So Macchiato is still fine for now. They're actually saving him. They're turning it. And this is the end of Garrosh. Oh boy. Korea. They are in trouble. That is 9 kills to 1. There's level 16. Talent advantage for China. And that means they got the Fiery Brand also for Illidan. Oh boy, they should be worried here. That's nearly a 2-level advantage now for China. So it's nice that you already have 2 seeds to your name, but if you can't build on that, then you are in real trouble. And there is just no way that this one's gonna give up. So again, it's Illidan who goes immediately for the camps. Obviously, is also gonna work his cooldown down so that he can use his ult again and hunt in if needed. But yeah, that is going to apply a lot of pressure. Fort at the bottom was the first one to fall in this game. Now the seed is up. Illidan, he's just rotating. He's pushing through the middle, which also increases then again the auto attack damage through his level 1 talent. So that's another one. But they are starting to engage here. And this is bad news for Korea. Keep in mind, if Korea loses this map, they are second place in the tournament. China would have locked in the victory in this grand final. So that's what we're looking at right now. And boy, oh boy. So Illidan, he's moving down to the bottom of the map now. Doing his thing here. Again, like minion after minion, working on his level 1, trying to get the damage in, trying to push these lanes out, playing also the side lane pusher, can always hunt in when needed. ETC could do the same thing, playing it really well, cool, calm, collected, delusional, just not making any huge mistakes here. And this is another tether. ETC rotates over too. They're starting to chase him, and that is Imperius gone. Imperius is gone. They cut every single path of retreat that was available to him off. ETC diving in on his left. He needed to move over towards the top. Was chased. Jaina slowed him down. Illidan would have gotten to him eventually. And now we have 10 kills to 1. 1.5 level lead for China. And this is going to be an objective unless Korea somehow can again buy time. And I do not think that they can buy this much time. Ice Block is already out. They're zoning completely, committing to this. Again, it's Li Ming. Gets the hit in here against Maiev. But the fight at the bottom of the map continues. And Li Ming is definitely needed here. They need to make sure that she comes in and helps them out. The channel is going to happen in just another second again from Maiev. And then we're going to get Garden Terrors. So, yep, Maiev is moving in. Channels it up. Nobody's in range. Garden Terror, objective number 1 for China. Should at least eliminate the fort in the middle and top. But here comes the fight, and this is the big one. If they lose heroes now, Korea is going to be in a world of pain. And it's not looking good, is it? ETC is a bit low, though, and so is Maiev. Maiev gets out with 50 hit points. Less than 50 hit points for Maiev. And instead, we have Karazim and Imperius fall. Utter disaster. Absolute disaster. That was insane. Keep an eye on Maiev here. She got away with less than 50 HP. Karazim dies, and then they go for the second kill. Imperius falls too. Both forts have now been destroyed. The bot lane gets pushed in the middle and the top. The Garden Terrors are making their play for the keeps, and this is brutal. 19 to 16 on the level count. 38,000 damage by Li Ming, 38,000 damage by Jaina. And the longer they can posture here at the bottom of the map, the more resources have to be committed by Korea to defend the bottom keep, the more damage the middle and the top lane are going to suffer as well. China has Korea in an absolute chokehold. They're getting strangled here. Middle keep has taken damage. Top keep is taking damage. They might be able to save most of them, but I would be shocked if not at least one keep falls. Maybe they can save this one. Nope, they cannot. One keep is gone. And that is the... Oh, Jesus, even the top keep. Look at this. Damn, both of them so low, and the worst is yet to come because level 20 is so damn close for China. Korea is in a nearly unwinnable position. There's camps up on the map that can be taken. One of the few things that Korea has going for them is that they have 2 seeds. They got 2. They need the next one. But any fight that they're taking right now could be a disaster. Crowd Pleaser is in. Illidan has the Bolt of the Storm. Even more mobility for him. Can play hyper aggressive here. Disc thrown out. Doesn't hit. Not that it matters. He can just go for a couple of risky plays and see if something sticks. If it does, fantastic. They get a kill. If it doesn't, they are still the ones that will be aggressive and can just sit tight if they need to wait for a cooldown. Which they're obviously not going to do because they have a massive advantage that they're going to try and exploit here. Top keep is going to get pressured. Mid keep is already under tons of pressure itself as they're looking for anybody that might be a bit out of position that they can go for. Yeah, and lockdown here. He got close. ETC wanted to go for him. Nearly got him. Now Imperius had to move towards the top to deal with this push, or they're losing another keep. But China is moving back for now. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they're moving back at this particular moment, because as long as Imperius is at the top, I thought they would try and get some damage done in the middle and then see what else they can do. But there's camps to be claimed, and that's what they're doing. Control the map for as long as you can and play around it. 1 kill, 212. Korea needs a kill. A little bit more than a kill. But let's start with 1 and then see what they can get after that. 17 minutes into the game. Easy and nice rotations from China, from lane to lane, camp to camp. Can go again up top here for another seed. They want to avoid Korea getting the seed. They will probably get another one because for Korea is on level 20. Maybe not. That's going to be close. And they can still take a few more camps. So essentially they're pinning Korea down in their base. Korea is pinned down in their own base. Greymane, Reset, he's the only one that hasn't died yet. He's honestly been doing so much work for his team. It is crazy. In a lot of the games that they won, they were in the winner bracket final at least. He was the driving force behind it. Even in the games they lost, he was always super solid in his performance, at least most of the time. And he's been just pushing and pushing them from one moment to another. And in this game, once again, he is the only one on their side that has not fallen yet. Level 20 is finally ready for them. This is the time for Korea to fight back. Now you're on even talents. If you make a comeback happen, this is it. This is where it starts, with you getting level 20. Unleashed. They need to unleash Reset now. They go for the old school combo here. I mean, it is literally Greymane and Li Ming. Greymane, Li Ming, and Li Ming Genji were 2 of the old school comps there. And there it is, the kill! The reset for lockdown. Jaina is dead. Jaina gets killed, and so does Whitemane. Korea, ladies and gentlemen. There they go. Momentum. At the top, somebody needs to be careful or this one might fall. Rest of the team is already pushing. They're going for the seed. It's all about the garden terrors, of course. But look what China is doing. China is just rushing towards the top, trying to get another keep. Lockdown can't do anything about it. Is quickly zoned away, and that is a free B keep right here. No problem for Illidan. He still has the Bolt of the Storm, if he even needs it. And his ult is going to be... No, he's not going to get his ult, but he has the mobility for sure. So yeah, he's able to get away here. So is... Oh, Maiev? Okay, Maiev jumping out, and they're all retreating. Even if they lose one, it would have been worth it. Taking that keep is big. And Reset, of course, he is demolishing the bot lane. So yeah, nicely done. Korea wants to bring it back. They're working on it. They're doing what they can here. They're coming through the middle. They're going through the bottom of the map. They're everywhere right now. Trying to get an advantage. And more importantly, trying to get, for example, to a point where they can take down the opponent's keep themselves. This is the power of you having level 20. They are looking really, really strong here. Nice move by them. How much can they actually do, though? What can they pull off at this point? Doing what they can as we speak against the bottom key, but the Garden Terrors are already defeated on 2 lanes. The only lane where we still have one is up at the top, and this one is not going to get too much done either. Illidan is already on its way. So a few forts have been destroyed. Korea has also been able to finally push them back and take a lot of the map control. Keep in mind that this entire game played out on the left side. On the left 20% of the map for such a long time right now. So Korea bought themselves a lot of space. They took some forts down. But they are still down 2 keeps, which is a big problem. They're definitely not out of this yet. But they gotta buckle down. They gotta give it their best, or it's going to be the end of the road for them. So, 12 kills, 2-3. Imperius at the top, trying to go for the next camp, and China's getting ready to push the lanes out again. And let's not forget, we're 21 minutes in. Catapults really start to hurt here, and there is particularly on the top lane immense catapult pressure. This is the lane where we still have a fort for China. So no counter pressure whatsoever in those minion waves. The only thing they have is the siege giant camp, and once it's defeated they have to wait for the cooldown and come back up. So these catapults, getting them on the core is going to become a real danger for the Korean team. China knows that they are the ones that are still fully in the driver's seat here. They've definitely lost some of their momentum, but they're still the ones calling the shots. They have to play it a little more patiently until the lanes are pushing against the Korean core and keep again. But generally speaking, they are still the ones that have the upper hand. And the position for the next seat is obviously also a really good one for them. Much, much easier for them, particularly with the fort at the top lane still being in play. So if they can grab this one, they would really threaten another wave of Garden Terrors with the 2-0 that they would have had. And Illidan still doing his thing. Illidan is at 22. Look at siege damage. 167,000 siege damage. That puts him into the driver's seat for his team and the second highest position in the game. Only Greyman has more siege damage than he does. These discs, by the way, are a little bit unlucky this game. Maiev has been throwing out so many of them, and a lot of them were high risk, of course, but she landed very, very few of them. This really worries me. Yes, catapults have been taken out previously, but there's a second catapult now coming as we speak. Everybody is just starting to zone up on those seats, and we are now 22, nearly 23 minutes into the game. So the blue team will have to likely abandon that seat. They're already moving back because they're realizing it too. With the camp and the catapults, they cannot do anything about this. So here we are. Seat goes over to China, which means that they are threatening Garden Terrors now. 2 seats to 0. Next one is gonna be big. And there we go already. Illidan with a hunt. Again, he can always work that cooldown back down to 0, so that's what he's doing. YOLOing that out. If he gives you a cheeky kill, then even better. Might flip the entire game in your favor. But right now he needs a minion wave or something that he can start auto-attacking to work that cooldown back down. Everybody's trying to trap. It's the Chinese push meta all over again. China's already sitting in the next push. Everybody, another disc gets thrown out. Everybody is looking for gank opportunities. Hide in the bush, wait for somebody to come here, set a little bit of bait up yourself, see if someone responds to it, and play around vision as much as you can. Show maybe someone down on the bottom of the map, hope for a rotation of the opponent's team, capitalize on them rushing a bit too fast. But it is that top lane that is the big worry for Korea. Over and over again, the top lane is pushing, and the position of the seed now is worst case scenario. How is Korea going to play this one out? 24 minutes in. Catapults chunked the core down at this point. So how are you planning on playing this one out? Yeah, Maiev is waiting for Li Ming. She knew Li Ming would come. Lockdown gets attacked, and the disc misses again. Of course it does. But here comes Illidan. Get popped. Down she goes. Li Ming is gone. And now they are trying for the next kill. Hyde is on the run. The entire blue team is getting destroyed here. Garrosh and Karazim are both gone. So is Imperius. They're trying for Greymane now. Reset is getting reset. And that is a 5-man team wipe. And the end of the road for Korea in this qualifier. China takes it. They claim victory in the series. The winner bracket final went to the Chinese team, and now the rematch also ends with a W for the team in red. Nicely done. They lock in the win on Garden of Terror and decide the grand final in their favor. GG and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.